Alright, welcome back everyone. I'm Setharoth, and today we have an exciting mod for you guys. This is a must for every playthrough. As soon as I discovered this mod, I knew it was going right into my full load order. It is amazing. We are also bringing along Serana, because this involves vampires, well, and werewolves, and liches. So we've picked the Ritual Stone as the hosting site for this little party. I mean, we got the vampire, we got the lich. I can't really do much for the werewolf, but we're gonna import that because this mod is amazing. So this mod is called True Hybrid, and I can show you the full power of this mod in one simple menu. Yes, you are looking at this correctly. I have my werewolf form, my vampire form, and my lich form if you ever do the Undeath mod. All three can be grown and learned and developed from one playthrough. So for example, looks a little cold out here, let's go ahead and grow some fur. We're going to not comment on the fact that these are supposed to be mortal enemies, and Serana seems to have no problem with me suddenly putting on a lot of weight and growing fangs. Well, I guess fangs are kind of part and parcel, but the whole fur thing should still be different for her. Anyway, as you can see, we are now enjoying all the power, wonder, and glory that comes with being a powerful werewolf. What adds just wonder to the freedom of this mod is you can also use this with Growl. That is the mod that overhauls your werewolf. Hoorah! So as you can see, I've already had some fun playing around with these werewolf things that are fantastic. One of my favorite things about Growl is a lot of these buffs will actually boost your mortal form as well as your beast form. So for example, here's lycanthropic speed, so that your character is faster at all times. There are a number of other mods, bonuses, but this is not a Growl showcase. This is True Hybrid. I'll have to do Growl later because there is still more to show. And let's see here, we've got to switch back, so that should just mean, yep, alright, change back to human form. There is a slight lag when you're changing forms because the scripts are going to have to juggle between like 4 different modes instead of just 1 or 2. So you do have to be a little patient. I don't recommend trying to switch forms in combat unless you use another feature from True Hybrid, which we are going to get into soon. First off, I am proving that this mod is actually allowing me to unlock all 3 power modes, because here is the glorious lichdom. I haven't even finished Undeath yet, so I don't know the full story that you have to go through in order to get this unsightly, black and broken, bony, creepy looking thing, but now I really want to become a lich. So that's going on my list too. Once I've run through Undeath, I will do a post on that. I might actually do a sequence and call it a walkthrough, because I understand the quest for it is actually pretty long and involved. But as you can see, I was just a werewolf with too much fur, and now I'm skin and bone with no skin and just bone. Last but not least, let's see if we can switch back. There we go. So from Lich, you can actually pick if you want to hop over to a different form. If you revert form, that'll take you back to human. And the only one we have not seen so far is the infamous Vampire Lord. Abracadabra. Alright, now it takes a second to load. Yeah, for a second there I couldn't walk at all because the mod was still loading. So in combat that could be troublesome because I was technically stuck during the transition. But as you can see, this allows you to fully experience Growl, Sacrosanct, and Undeath from a single playthrough. I am so excited. It's going to be so much fun. Here's just a peek into the various perks of Sacrosanct, because he completely overhauls all of vampiredom in one mod. It's fantastic. But that is a conversation for another time. Alright, so what are a few other features of the True Hybrid? First off, there is a quick shift menu, so let's have a look at that. This allows you to hop between forms very easily. Now, there's actually a shortcut that allows you to, I don't know if I can trigger it because I technically don't like it. I like just having a secret power I can use to switch, but if I'm not mistaken, there you go. You can tie it into jump. So in combat you can jump and it'll automatically switch to another form. rather than having to use the menu or to bring up the menu on the side, you can automatically bring up the option when you jump. So there are ways to configure how you transform from one mode to another so that this can conveniently be used in combat. Or if you start off as a werewolf, for example, and then sprint 100 feet away really quick, giving you time to shapeshift into something else. Because as you remember with Vampire Lord, you level up your skills by killing, and then with Werewolf, you level up by eating. So you might want to start as Werewolf and then switch into Vampire Lord to finish him off, and then eat as Werewolf, and so on and so forth. And if this was all the mod entailed, I would be content. But no, they had to go above and beyond. So let's see what else. We're going to go ahead and revert form now. So true hybrid, when you're bringing in the mod, it is a little tricky because you got to make sure the mod order is correct. This has to go under all three, Growl, Sacrosanct, and Undeath. Or just Undeath. If you're doing a vanilla playthrough but you want to experience all three with as little modding as possible, just stick Undeath above true hybrid, and it'll automatically bring in your vanilla werewolf and your vanilla vampire lord into your playthrough. Now, let's see what some of our other options are here. So we have the Tainted Blood ritual. This is a more, if you're going for a story approach, this gives you a spell basically to manipulate your dragonborn blood into controlling your curses, if you will. If I can get it to work. 3, 2, 1. And please work for me. Nope. Oh, wait, there we go. All right, we got the nice slow-mo, nice blast of energy. There we go. So we are currently fully embraced a hybrid humanoid. That means we're capable of accessing all the forms. All vampire and werewolf effects are active. Yes, this also covers their passives, people. So all of their passive bonuses you can get from vampire and werewolf all stacking on one character, on one playthrough. Bonus hybrid race effects are active because I also have Sacrosanct's racial perks. Your vampire traits are fully active. You've got all their perks, effects, and bonuses, all feeding and sunlight effects, all vampire abilities. Werewolf, also fully active. You have all the perks, effects, and bonuses. The reason it's giving you that readout is because from this menu, you can change things how you want. So Pacify is an option you can use to deactivate a mod. So for example, if your vampire is glitching, you can pacify, deactivate and reactivate your vampire abilities to see if that fixes whatever glitch you're going with. Same thing with Embrace. If you want to activate an ability that you've turned off, be that turning into a werebeast or turning into a vampire, you can also choose how your character manifests. So if you don't like a vampire that's pale with glowing red eyes, you can adjust your racial appearance as you like. Enable disable head parts. I don't even know what that does. Okay, unlock additional head parts from chosen races to be used on your character. That sounds kind of creepy but fun. Yeah, use that at your own peril. Reset any unlocked parts back to vanilla. I do not know what that is. You guys can dive into that on your own. Maybe if you try this out, let me know in the comments below what that entails. And yes, this tainted ritual thing is very dramatic, and it kind of locks you into this animation. You shouldn't be using this very often. It's more to establish the settings by which you will be enjoying a playthrough. So the fact that it takes so long to get back to the menu is an annoying glitch, but one you really shouldn't have to deal with very often, because you'll just be setting the settings that you want for your 100 hours of playthrough and then never using the spell again. There's also another way to avoid this spell entirely, which I will get to as soon as this animation stops. Of course, this is the longest it's ever been. The second I turn on a camera, the mod starts demonstrating strange behavior. Alright, so that was a slight glitch. It locked me into that transformation window. That's the first time it's happened. My character is level 30. I've been using this mod the entire time with no issues. And of course, once I turn on a camera, an issue pops up. So it does have a couple little glitches, but that is a new skin for Serana. I like it very much. Alright, but I can show you a couple other things with the mod that, at least up until this point, haven't given me any trouble. So another way, if you don't like the spell approach, or the spell approach starts glitching, another option is a book that you can create called Tainted Blood Settings and Info. This gives you a rundown of all the different abilities that you get in the mod, a couple of debugging things that you can use if you get stuck. And the nice thing is, once you close the book and exit the menu, it automatically brings up an entire menu of options. So you can adjust your quick shift. Hybrid, you can adjust the rules of being a vampire. So for example, since you are a combination of werewolf and vampire, you can actually make the debuff from sunlight go away just during combat. So you still have issues of travel and stuff as a vampire, but you at least can regenerate during combat. You can adjust the appearance of your various forms. You have some general options for loading screens, different perks that you want to get for while you are in different forms. This is the one you'll use most often, fixes and workarounds. So this allows you to address if you're stuck, if the screen's taking too long to load. It goes to black sometimes when you change form. You can even reload the mod from here. There's a lot of UI that is set to help you debug the mod from inside the game rather than having to go outside and reload things and try again, which I really like, because not a lot of mods give you this many options for debugging and troubleshooting. And like I said earlier, once you get the right setting, even if accessing the setting is a little buggy, once you get it going, it will just run. Once you can access all three forms, you can just go nuts and have your day. So there we go. Yeah. So you can, from here, actually, from this menu, oop, did I just exit out of it? I think I just did. Yep. So let's go back, because that is the most common thing that I have used. If you get stuck, you can use the book, go to the menu, fixes and workarounds, and right here you can give yourself or take away any of the abilities that you want, right? So if you want to start as a vampire, you can do that. You want to start as a werewolf, do that. Start as a lich, do that. It's all right here. The one thing I will point out is that if you start as a vampire, you will get all of the vampireness, right? So if you're familiar with the Sacrosanct mod, it gives you a lot more options to level up as a vampire. There's a bunch of other quests that you can do. There's Sommelier, there's Blue Blood, there's a whole bunch of other abilities that you can get as a vampire. And if you want that full experience, I highly recommend getting infected the old-fashioned way, because this literally brings up, let's see, where's my magical effects here? Where's all my vampireness? I think it's here at the bottom. Yeah. So you're already fully, you've got Wassail activated, you've got your two vampirenesses, you're already ready to start feeding. You have the full assortment of powers. You can go Vampire Lord, you have Command, Seduction, Sight, Will, all of those things. And I would recommend, if you're doing a full playthrough, just catch the bug normally. No need to tweak the mod and give it all to you right away, unless that's the exact kind of a playthrough that you want to run. So last but not least, I think there were a couple other spells we didn't have a chance to look at. There is the Tainted Blood settings menu. Let's see if that one will work. There we go. Okay, so this is another way to access the options we had from the book. If you open the book and click out of the menu, you have these same options, the fixes and workarounds. You can reset your race if you're using a custom race as opposed to using standard vanilla races. And then I think last but not least, there was a final one. Shapeshift menu. Yes, this one I have not used. Oh, there you go. And that's your ability to automatically switch forms. So I'm actually going to favorite that, because that is awesome. So the reason it's grayed out right now is because it's counted as a power, and it takes a while before it comes back. So for example, if I use beast form, there's going to be a cooldown. So there's a cooldown with all of these Tainted Blood rituals as well, which might be why I had a hard time switching menus earlier, because I was just running through them really fast instead of giving them time for the cooldowns to, well, cool down. But as you can see, we can fully access all three races in all three, I don't know if they're even races, curses? I don't know, god modes, pick your definition. All three, one playthrough. It's glorious. Plus, I would like to add, if you're using the Vampire Lord and Werewolf perks, so Sacrosanct and Growl, they both come with enhancements to your mortal form. So for example, if we hop back into Vampire Lord. Oh, sorry, Serana. Don't stand so close to me when I'm growing wings. and we take a look at Sacrosanct, it shouldn't take us too long to find something. There we go. So this brings in blood magic as well as night powers in your raise spell. As you can see, all of those things in mortal form cost 25% less magicka, and your drain spell in mortal form costs 50% less. So a lot of these perks, as well as the perks in the Growl mod, also affect your mortal form, which makes total sense to me, right? If you're a full-born werewolf with all the perks, your human form should still be a formidable opponent. And the same thing goes for Vampire Lord. And being able to have the same of all three worlds once you throw in Lichdom, I love it. So that is the True Hybrid mod, which is one of my favorites by far. Like I said, even if it takes a try or two to get the settings menu to work right, it is still fantastic because, I mean, once it's set, right? It's done. You don't have to do anything else, and you can just run your quests, level up all of your beast forms and your vamp form and your lich form, and just have yourself a merry heyday. I just love being able to go straight from one to the other. That is fantastic. The only other glitch that I've seen, obviously you just saw that, technically I transformed twice, and I have noticed that when I go into a kill cam, right, when your werewolf goes and jumps on something and tries to eat it, there is a slight like 1 to 2 second lag. It's not every time, but it is noticeable. On the other hand, I am running 105 mods and plugins simultaneously, which is the most I've ever ran, so it is hard to tell whether those little lagging quirks are just from the other mods that I've brought in, or the collusion of these 3 mods, or not. Anyway, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this little demonstration of True Hybrid. It is a fantastic mod. I have really enjoyed being able to play as both a vampire and a werewolf. I haven't unlocked Undeath yet, because I want to play through the whole mod. It's a huge quest mod, and I want to have the full experience before I really start playing around as a lich, which is why I didn't do it much in this playthrough. But we will get into that later. It is on my list of things to do. Feel free to let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite part, or your favorite beast, I guess, when you're playing Skyrim. Do you prefer werewolf? Do you prefer vampire lord? Have any of you guys actually played Undeath? Because that would be awesome. In which case, I would love to hear about it. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Feel free to enjoy the next video. Take care.